Hello, this is Shashi Saluna, and a few couples have contacted us to ask us a question of, can I join the Tantric Couple webinar when we're not actually physically together? And the answer, of course, is yes, you can. But let me just describe a little bit about ways in which you can do that. So this is something I'm personally experienced in, because when I met my beloved Shahid, he had a lot of his life was in Holland, a lot of my life was in Southeast Asia. So after a brief time together, we ended up in separate countries and wanted to keep our intimacy alive. So we really managed to do that using modern technology. So I want to share a little bit about how you can do that on the webinar. So on the webinar, we're going to be streaming classes from our different teachers, including rituals and so on. So both of you can, of course, tune in from wherever you are in the world. However, some of the practices are going to be guided practices to do together. Now, of course, when it comes to touch, that one's more difficult. I'll come to that in a minute because it's still possible. So what I would recommend that you do is you have two devices, if that is possible for you. One device will be your, let's say, for example, you're going to use your phone and your computer. So with your computer, what you could do is play the classes that the teachers are guiding. And then with your phone, that will become your partner. So you just need to set it up together that you choose how you're going to connect on your phone. You could use WhatsApp, you could use Messenger, you could use Skype, you could use Zoom, whatever you want to use. So for example, let's say WhatsApp, then you tune in with each other before the class starts. So you've got each other here and you've got your personal connection going. And then you'll press play on your computer. Now, one thing that can happen is the sound can go through and it will have a slight time lapse from when your partner's hearing it from their computer. So I recommend to have your headphones in and just put one bud in from your computer so you can hear the class in one ear, and with the ear that doesn't have the bud, you can chat to your partner. And of course, only you and your partner are connecting through your WhatsApp. So then as the class is happening, it's as if you're sitting side by side. You can chat, you can go, wow, that's amazing, did you hear that? And then when it comes to some of the guided exercises, you can ignore your computer with the teacher talking, and you can just turn to your phone. This is your beloved in a little box. And you can, of course, eye gazing is a little tricky. When you're eye gazing, what I recommend is that one of you looks into the camera for a couple of seconds so that the other partner can, and just pour your love. So when you have to change roles. So when you're giving, you look into your camera and just pour your love through the camera, and your partner can look in their screen into your eyes and receive your love. Then switch. You don't need to keep saying switch, switch, switch. You just time it roughly. Then the other partner looks straight into the camera and pours love, and you can look at their image and receive their love. So this one you can't go exactly at the same time, but you can still really, really feel each other, which so you can have eye gazing. And here's what's amazing. You can also feel a lot of energy. And Tantra is actually one of the big things that we're learning through Tantra is how can we awaken our energy body and make love with our energy body. And there's a lot of advantages of that. Like basically when we're only in the physical body, we can't ever really, we can touch, but we can't really get fully close. We're always separate. But when we awaken the energy body, then we can feel each other even before our physical bodies have touched, and we get this deep sense of merging through the energy body. So one of the ways that we learn to make love in Tantra is actually using energy rather than just the physical body. So sex then is no longer limited as just a physical experience. It becomes also like this amazing energy experience. This is where we go into the realm of energy orgasm and the deepest level of intimacy and connection you've ever known. And the good news for those couples who are in separate physical locations is you can feel energy without any need for distance. So, and believe me, I've tried this. It's nice to have a tripod if you have one, or a stand. So here's my tripod, because then you can just put your phone into your tripod like this, and that's your beloved there. Okay, it doesn't It doesn't feel quite as good as the body, I know. So there you go. You can see the back of my phone there. And so I'm eye gazing. A little bit of time I look at the camera, a little bit of time I look into his eyes. So I get the eye gazing. And then when there's energy exchange, this is actually the best way to make love when you're not physically in the same place. So this is going to be fantastic for you to learn if you're in separation. So when there are practices with energy, you can do them. How exciting is that? Tantra works long distance. Now, one last thing I mentioned was touch. Now, obviously, touching your phone is not going to work. Nah, it doesn't feel as good, and your partner's not going to feel it. So if there's a practice around touch, so if there's Tantra massage or touch, the way to do it when you're not in the same place is to do it on yourself, which is incredibly intimate as well. Remember, your camera is only to your partner. It's not going into the webinar. So it's like on the computer, you're receiving the class. So you're just being taught one way, and on your WhatsApp is your partner. No one else can see you. So this is important. We've thought all of this through. So if you're looking at your partner on the phone and there's a touch, you do it on yourself. You practice this touch, you practice this touch. And as you're touching yourself, you express how it feels. And actually, you learn a lot from watching your partner touching themselves. But it can also feel really, really beautiful. So it's not maybe quite as yummy as being in the same location, but this will do very nicely for now, and you will learn a lot about what your partner likes. So you can even join in the massage. Now, many of our classes are just going to be teaching you something wonderful. There'll be meditations you can do together. There'll also be guidance and information. So you can watch together with your phone so that, like I said, you've got the teaching in one place, and then you can chat to your partner at the same time. And then afterwards, when the class is finished, you can enter a dialogue with your partner, like what came up for you, how was that class, what's there for you, and so on. So this is a really beautiful way to form intimacy. And many people, in fact, who form intimacy over the long distance before they meet, they have much deeper, longer lasting relationships because they're going deep into the heart and soul of one another before they even go into the body. So there is no need to hold yourself back because you're not in the same location. And in fact, if you've been having a lockdown blues of being separated from your partner, then we will hopefully be giving you some fantastic tools to feel deeply connected and very in love and even physically pleasured by joining this webinar. So look forward to seeing you there.